How big exactly will the Republican red wave that we're going to be seeing in this very year, the year of our Lord 2022, actually be? Find out as I attempt to answer the question in this episode of The Adam Boyer Show.
In a world gone crazy, common sense, logic, and Christian values are needed. Adam Boyer is here to provide you all three in The Adam Boyer Show.
Okay, let's get started. So, we're going to take a look at some of Biden's ratings, this based on data from NBC here. They apparently compiled all the, I don't know if it was just their polls or national polls, but they found an average rating of 41.3% approval rating for Biden, 51.4% disapproving. Not good numbers, needless to say. At this point in his presidency, Donald Trump was supposedly at only 41.8%, so half a percentage point higher than Biden. And remember, in 2018, the Dems won 40 House seats. In 2018, Trump's approval rating wasn't even quite as low as Biden's here. Things are not looking good. Chuck Todd himself, over at MSNBC, said it's going to be, quote, bad or catastrophic when speaking about what it's going to be for Democrats in the midterms. He didn't even give okay or decent or anything as an option. He said it's going to be either bad or catastrophic. They're just trying to figure that out. Take a look at some numbers from history. The Republican red wave back in 1994 under Bill Clinton, Clinton's election day approval was 44%, and the Dems lost 54 seats, 54 House seats, 44%. That was his approval. Biden's currently at 41.3 for some. So you can kind of get a view of that. Things don't look great for Dems in that aspect. To continue, Obama, 2010, 45.6% approval. Dems lost 63 seats in the House. And then, based on NBC's generic ballot, averaging all NBC's polling together, they find Republicans have a +1 advantage when it comes to generic ballot asked who you would vote for in the congressional elections. That's what they would ask if it was a Republican or Democrat. I believe that's how they were wording the polling, basically. And the Republicans are favored by 1. To give that some perspective, 2010, as I already referenced, the Dems led by 1. They lost 63 seats and 6 seats in the Senate. 1994, the Republican Revolution. Democrats led by 5 points, lost 54 seats and 8 in the Senate. So no matter how you look at it, as Chuck Todd said, things are not looking good for Democrats. They're looking very good for Republicans. And Biden is certainly not helping anything with his underwater ratings. 41.3% approval. I think I saw at one point there was a poll that had it down to 35% approval. I know there was one that had 38% approval. Just nothing's looking good all around for Democrats. His among young voters, according to a Harvard Kennedy School poll, has dropped down to 41%. His approval, I believe, is at 59 at this point last year. Gallup has him at just 41% approval, with a whopping 56% disapproving. Again, just nothing's looking good for Democrats, and it kind of makes me happy, honestly. I was cautiously optimistic for a long time about the outcome of this election, and I am more than cautiously optimistic now. I'm very optimistic. I think, as we get down to my predictions, it is going to be huge. I'm not just hoping, I am legitimately optimistic here. I'm saying, I have this written down here, the Republicans gain a minimum, Republicans gain 50 House seats. At least that's very likely the minimum. The Republicans gain 50 seats in the House, which would give us, I believe, a 40-seat advantage. I believe we're down 10 seats right now. I think it's more likely going to be around 60 to 65 seats we gain, and it could be as high as even, I don't know, it could be even as high around 90 or something, 80, 90, somewhere around there. I'm not going to say it's out of the question for us to gain 100 seats in the midterms. It could be, it could be historic here. We could see some stuff in 2022 that we have never seen before in the history of this country. So I thought we'd do here to add a little more content, but also just kind of get to some specifics for fun. I believe there are 33 Senate seats up for election. in these midterms. I thought we'd look at the seats one by one and see what the final results would be. So, without further ado, let's do that. I already have my page up here. We start off. We're going alphabetically by state. Alabama. Richard Shelby is retiring there, and it doesn't really matter who's running there. The Republicans are going to win. I'm going to put that in the Republican category. I have a little graph chart here. Alaska, Lisa Murkowski. Yay! Please primary her, Sarah Palin. Yeah, that's gonna stay Republican. Arizona, that's gonna flip Republican. I'm nearly positive if they don't find a way to steal it. Whoops, guess I can't say that on YouTube. Beep, censor. Arkansas, that's definitely gonna stay Republican. Cannot imagine that not going Republican. California, yeah, that is going Democrat. No more need to say anything about that. Colorado, I'm not convinced couldn't flip. I think that could be very close, a lot closer than people are expecting. For now, I'm going to put it in the Democrats category, but that might change once we get to the end of all this. Connecticut, that's going to stay Democrat. Florida, that is going to go Republican. Georgia, that's going to flip, go back to Republican. I believe that also was not exactly fair and square back in 2020. If I was just on Rumble and not on YouTube, I would be saying some things YouTube overlords do not like right now. Hawaii, that is going to be staying Democrat. I don't think there's much need for discussion there. Idaho, that'll stay Republican. Illinois, Chicago controls Illinois, so that is going to be Democrat. We're currently at 7 Republican, 5 Democrat seats. Indiana, we have Todd Young. I believe he's the incumbent. Yeah. That is going to stay Republican. I'm going to move my computer here a little bit. Yes, Idaho. No, sorry, Indiana. Todd Young, that is going to stay Republican. Iowa, that is going to stay Republican. Kansas, going to stay Republican. I believe. Kentucky, Rand Paul, let's go. That'll be Republican. Louisiana, that is going to be Republican. There's John Kennedy. He has been... I was not super impressed by John Kennedy for a long time, but he has been very good with all the COVID stuff, especially considering Dr. Fauci. Maryland, that is going to go Democrat. Missouri, Roy Blunt's retiring, but I believe that will very likely stay Republican. Nevada, ooh, I think Nevada's going Republican. We're going to go with that. New Hampshire, man, New Hampshire's one of those states I think you could see a shocker of a victory. I'm going to say it goes Republican because I really am that confident in Republicans taking over this year. I'm not saying that this specific seat will go Republican. I am saying, though, that I believe is going to be massive in the midterms. Where are we? That was New Hampshire. New York, that's going Democrat. North Carolina, that's going to go Republican. North Dakota, Republican. Ohio, Rob Portman retiring. That's going to go Republican. Oklahoma, Republican. Oh, there's another election in Oklahoma. There's a special one, isn't there? Well, that's going to go Republican, so that's nice. Tack on, yeah, another Republican seat. Oregon, I don't know, that one could actually be closer than people are expecting, but I'm going Democrat. Pennsylvania, that's going to go Republican if they don't find a way to take it. South Carolina, Republican. South Dakota, Republican. Utah, Republican. Vermont. Vermont. That's going to go Democrat. Washington State, obviously, going to go Democrat. And then Wisconsin is going to go Republican. Okay. Let's see. That's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 seats for us. 10 seats for Democrats. There must be 35 seats. I was wondering if that was the case. So, I have done the math, and took a while, but what I figure is that we are going to take 4 Senate seats and hold a 54 to 46 majority in the Senate by the time all this is said and done, if my predictions are right for the midterms. And the House, I'm going to say we end with about 282 seats in the House. It's going to be big this November. It's going to be fun as long as we can make sure it stays legitimate. So yeah, I think this is going to be awesome. The most important thing you can do is not only vote, but get the word out, okay? Get the word out to your friends. Make sure they are all inspired to vote. Post it to your social media. I know the time has not come yet, but you can start already volunteering for campaigns. I do that myself. Bob Good here in the 5th District, I volunteer for him. He's running for Congress, re-election. Last year, 2020, I helped him get elected to his first term. And so you can do a lot of stuff. You can donate with money. You can donate with time. You can do a lot of things to help ensure Republicans have big wins in the Senate and House upcoming in the 2022 midterms. But yes, those are my predictions. Things are looking very optimistic for the Republicans. Whoa, you just made it to the end of an episode of The Adam Boyer Show. If you've made it all this way, you must have liked what you've seen, so you know what you need to do, right? Like the video, help the reach spread, and get the word out about this show. Also, subscribe. You won't regret it.